Mark Asla here. I'm returning to Facebook Live, and I just want to have kind of an open conversation about what the future of that looks like for me. So I took a break in a while from doing structured content. I was doing work with Adia Vivi, which we still continue to do some corporate work together, but the video thing just didn't quite work out. Reason being is I think the prepared content wasn't hitting in the way that we wanted, and we were trying to figure out exactly how to narrow down our audience. See, my business is in a weird place where I'm full, right? As a therapist, I'm totally full of all my clients. I've been working with some people for years. And what I'm looking at now is figuring out what that next step is going to be. I have kind of this ambition. I have interest in pursuing, more impact and changing things up a bit. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how video content fits into that. So the first thing is at the end of the year, I'm looking at expanding by hiring people. Ideally, two employees to work with some of my clients. I'm at a point in my life where I'm wanting more impact. I'm wanting to focus more on groups. I'm wanting to focus more on some of the creative projects that I've had in the hopper for, in some cases, years. And I want to be able to get out into the community a lot more. I found with the way that the psychotherapy business is set up is that I just spend way too much time in individual sessions, hour by hour, that by the time I get to any of these more creative and more ambitious business things, I don't have any energy. I'm tapped out. I'm flushed. I'm just kind of destroyed, and all I want to do is just connect. And I don't have time to do the deep work required to really expand my business to the next level. So what I'm hoping to do, and there'll be a lot more information about this coming. This is kind of just off the cuff. I'm hoping to hire some people. I'm hoping to transition my work in the business to doing almost exclusively group work, working with my men's groups, my supervision groups, and special topics groups that I'll talk about once I figure out what the special topics are going to be, and moving into doing more online courses, moving into doing more workshops, moving into taking the time to be in the community more and networking with people. That's something that I really miss from when I was less busy, is I was able to be in our therapeutic community and our coaching community and really talk to people. I don't really have the ability to do that right now because I'm just working all the time. So where's the videos fit in? I want to be more consistent with these. I want to be able to do these ideally every week, maybe more like every other week realistically, um, and to have them be a lot more conversational. The prepared content style, I think for my personality, I think it landed a little flat. It ended up feeling like a little rushed, a little put on, and I'm not quite sure if it was effective. So what I'm looking for in this is a lot more conversational style, a lot more casual, being able to talk about ideas. A lot of them are going to be around men and masculinity, at least to start, around leadership, organizational development, psychoanalysis, things like that, and hoping as much as possible to engage the community. Now I know it's difficult, right? There's barriers to entry. People don't like commenting. They don't like asking questions. They don't want to be, stand out or be like the weird one. But I would really encourage you, if you are listening to this, to start to ask questions, start to have more interaction. I think it would make this more sustainable for me and more interesting for the channel if there's a lot more back and forth. And that's something that I hope to add by having different avenues to have questions, whether they be about, stuff that I know about that I can riff on, or podcast episodes from the ashes, anything like that that I can start to just get that out there to people and to really try to give my take on things that are interesting to my viewers, because ultimately this content exists for you. So those are my thoughts. A lot of this is me just kind of like ripping off the band-aid and just getting back to doing the video stuff and hoping that over time it will expand and extend to the future. But so we're gonna start. That's the first brainstorm, and I'd be curious any thoughts or feedback of what you'd like to see from me in the future. Thank you.